Hi everyone. We're in this video interview going to have a look at facing a physical experienced resistance. Now, this is a resistance that one experiences physically within oneself when facing a point of resistance in application within one's physical reality. Now, one get your energetic resistance. Your energetic resistance is like your energetic experience within yourself, within your mind consciousness system of not wanting to do something or experience something or face something, where you, for example, postpone or procrastinate, and in that manifest the experience of laziness or apathy or ignorance. That is energetic experience resistance within and as one's mind consciousness system, where an energy possess you and one go into a manifested energetic state or experience, and within that manifested energetic state or experience of resistance, energy, possession, one further and further move oneself into and as the mind within and as that energy. And this is how laziness, apathy, ignorance, irresponsibility and things like that manifest as self, as a living condition. It's all energetic resistances that one is giving into instead of moving oneself practically within oneself through those or such energetic resistances. With, for example, like when you face completing a project or starting a task or having a meeting or participating with friends and things like that, and instead of actually doing it in practical physical reality, one go into energetic resistance, which is experienced as, I don't want to do this right now, I don't feel like it right now, let me do it later, and in that one give into energetic resistance. Now, energetic resistance we have spoken about before within video interviews in assisting and supporting oneself to realize that experience of not wanting to do something or not feeling like it, and then postponing and procrastinating, which then manifests oneself into laziness, apathy and ignorance, is actually showing or indicating how one is resisting walking here in the physical, that the resistance that you experience is actually the conflict and the friction between your mind and the physical, and that it'll literally feel like you are moving through concrete inside yourself, because we have accepted and allowed ourselves to like literally build layers that's manifested into walls in how we've separated ourselves into the mind from the physical. And that like wall that it would feel like you are having to literally push through and move through is the energetic layers of the mind, as the extent to which you've separated yourself from physical reality. I mean, if you just step back for a moment and have a look at the context of what you're accepting and allowing, you're in that moment accepting and allowing yourself to give into energy and not participate in physical reality. And obviously that will create and manifest the consequence within your world and your reality of not being disciplined, not being trustworthy, not being consistent, stable, not completing tasks, meetings, assignments, exams, things like that. And that then causes the whole unnecessary cycle of self-judgment and self-victimization, and then one completely fall into a total entire pattern when all in all, what is in fact busy happening is you are accepting and allowing yourself to justify why you did not in the moment push through the energetic mind experienced resistance and actually just complete a task and walk through it and get it done. It's going to be sometimes physically painful when you walk through it, because you're literally physically having to push through the layers as walls of the mind, to the extent to which one has separated oneself from the physical into the mind. Now let's have a look at physical resistances. This is what you're experiencing or will be experiencing while you're walking through a resistance, and it'll literally be a physical, manifested, real-time experience. It'll feel like your chest is hardening, and it's like you can feel every breath, and your whole body becomes like uncomfortable and tense and painful, and it's like you want to crawl out of your own skin. This is when you're facing or experiencing and real-time walking through physical mind resistances, where you are facing your unconscious physical mind that is in relation to your physical behavior in reality. So for example, let's say you're facing that point of having to complete a task, and you've created the habit or pattern of not completing it as it is here and walking it through until it's done, but rather have created the pattern or habit of falling into laziness, apathy, procrastination, and ignorance. And you've done that over and over and over again. So every time you faced a task or a responsibility or a point of discipline, you've given into energy, you've given into the mind, the pattern, the habit, where eventually consequence had to force you to do it, but then it created the whole experience of obligation, and instead of the opportunity of completing a task or taking on something and getting it done and finishing it being an opportunity for self-expansion, self-perfection, self-specification, one has turned all such opportunities into a whole experience of obligation and energy, and then one's life becomes really unpleasant, and who else is responsible for that experience in self and self-world but self? So you've now got to walk through the process of resistance, of now not giving into the mind but walking in actual physical real reality. And that change from walking from the mind into actual physical real reality will be experienced with real physical discomfort. I mean, it will be like while you're facing and doing the task, it will feel like your whole body is getting uncomfortable, your chest is tightening, because you'd usually in that moment feed the mind, feed the energy, feed the habit and mind pattern of laziness or apathy or procrastination, all of which is energy systems. And now you're not feeding those energy systems of your mind anymore, but walking in physical reality. So it's like your body will go through an actual withdrawal experience. So just to give you a perspective of what it is that one will be experiencing when you're facing physical mind resistances in and as your human physical body, because you'd previously given into energy and now walking in reality, your physical mind goes into a withdrawal experience, and it'll feel like in some moments like you're fighting yourself or fighting with yourself physically, and you really have to apply breath here and stick to just moving your body, moving the physical, and completing the task or conversation or appointment or assignment or exam, and assist and support yourself to push through what you've accepted and allowed in the past. And it'll obviously be a process. Every time it's going to be difficult, but it'll become less difficult as you become stronger in your application, movement and expression in and as the human physical body. So here also there's then another opportunity to assist and support oneself in the process of living and participating and expressing in the physical, and not accepting and allowing oneself to give in to the mind, because opportunities such as tasks, meetings, exams, assignments, participation, things like that in reality can be opportunities in which one can assist and support oneself to specify oneself, to perfect oneself, to become more, to expand while you're doing the task, assignment, or having conversations with people and things like that, to see how you can expand yourself within those points and become more, so to speak, instead of accepting and allowing yourself to fall into the patterns and habits of mind and physical mind, and giving into laziness, apathy, ignorance, which can be drawn into how you will thus allow that to exist within other people, within one's world, and so also then as the world as a whole, in where we're accepting and allowing laziness, apathy, and ignorance to dominate, control, and direct who we are as individuals and as humanity. That we're, instead of participating and doing something tangible and practical and physical reality, we're immediately just giving in and giving up into and as energy and mind, instead of making actual, practical, tangible, physical changes that stand eternal. So obviously first we're going to have to sort this point out within ourselves, within our own world, to make sure that we do not accept and allow any form of laziness, procrastination, apathy, or ignorance, but are in fact self-directive, physical, living beings that utilize opportunities in actual physical, practical reality to expand, specify, and perfect ourselves, so that we can in fact change this world and this reality into a living reality in physical existence. Thank you.